I'm Susan Gorin, Chair of the Board of Supervisors, and we're starting a series of 5 minutes with Susan. And I'm so pleased to have as my guest this morning, Sheba Person-Whitley, our Executive Director of the Economic Development Board. She's been with the county just about a year, maybe a little over a year, and whoa, what a job she's had to do in helping us move through recovery, to recovery, and eventually through recovery. So Sheba, I'm delighted to have you here this morning. Let's get right down to it. Now that a majority of our local businesses are able to reopen after being closed for these past weeks, what are our business owners doing to ensure that they are reopening safely, and how is the Economic Development Board supporting them?
Thank you so much, Chair Gorin. That's a great question. The EDB brought together business development professionals, economic development partners, and business leaders early in May. They came together virtually to support some work groups, and the product of that is best management practices. All of those BMPs are on the website. It really speaks to how a business can mitigate, whether that be physical distancing, sanitation, and other measures to create a safe and healthy environment. Again, all that information is on the EDB site, Sonoma County EDB.org, as well as industry guidance produced by the Governor's Office.
Great. That website is full of information, and so thank you so much for your work on that in Spanish and English.
Yes.
In order to reopen, businesses must commit to meeting or exceeding the requirements of the business mitigation practices. Tell us about the business self-certification assessment and where it can be found.
Absolutely. So that is on SoCo Launch. So that's SoCoLaunch.org. Really, the self-certification is a very simple, user-friendly way for local businesses to certify and self-attest that they have taken all the safety mitigation measures into consideration, that they are prepared to create a safe and healthy environment for not only their staff, but also for their consumers. All that information is available on the site, and it is available in Spanish. It also aligns with everything that has come out with the Public Health Order Amendment, so that everyone is all clear about exactly what they need to do and how they can do it.
We've been noticing this past week or two that the number of COVID-19 cases are increasing. What would you say to residents who are still hesitant to go out and invest in our local businesses?
I would say that I certainly understand that anxiety, but I have to say that the local businesses really have stepped up. They've been very, very creative. They've done things like curbside pickup. They've done social distancing. They put the tape on the floor, as we've all seen, the plexiglass. They're taking really great sanitation measures and implementing those standards. I would also say for all the patrons and customers to always continue to remember the guidance that has been put out by the public health officer around sanitation, making sure that you wear your facial covering, making sure that you frequently wash your hands, and of course, if you don't feel comfortable, don't enter.
And I think that's the best advice at all. If you're not comfortable, back away and come back another time. You had a great presentation in front of the board yesterday at our special COVID-19 briefing. Could you kind of summarize the information that you presented to the board and the community?
Yes, absolutely. So the Economic Development Board, along with the Office of Recovery and Resiliency, and great deal of partnership and collaboration from all of the people throughout the county, we're doing a two-pronged approach to recovery. So we do have a Living with COVID roundtable group that will be coming together. Their main focus will be, how do we get to this last phase of reopening? How do we create information, make sure that people understand how to mitigate, create that feedback loop to the county, as well as really thinking about how to remain open safely. We also will be bringing together recovery work groups specifically to look at more long-term impacts of COVID-19 and what we can do to think collectively about recovery and a strategic planning process.
And I know that many business leaders and sectors are very interested in participating on the long-term recovery task force. So thank you for organizing that. Our final question: we faced multiple challenges in Sonoma County, but we always find a way to come together. From your perspective as the Executive Director of the Economic Development Board, can you give us an example of some of the acts of kindness and respect and courtesy that our residents have demonstrated and will continue to demonstrate?
Yeah, absolutely. So people really have come together to support one another. We've seen that resilience throughout the community. Of course, the resilience has been tested over time because of a number of disasters and emergencies. Everyone really has rallied together. On the business side, we saw over 100 volunteers come together virtually to work on best management plans, really knowing that that was going to be integral to make sure that businesses, and especially small businesses, knew what they were going to need to do to reopen safely. And with the community, I'll have to say, seeing all the people come together and make masks, right, make facial coverings really early on when there was such a shortage, not only here in the county, but throughout the entire country, all these volunteers, we had sewers, we had that even within the county government as well. People volunteer their time to really support the community and make those donations. So that's certainly a great example of the act of kindness that I've seen play out.
I think I may not have given you enough credit because you have been with us through a couple of those emergency disasters for the past couple of years, and Economic Development Board has always been the source of resilience and strength, moving us into recovery. Thank you for your time today, and thanks to our residents for really paying attention, being considerate, showing respect, and listening to this YouTube interview. For your information about COVID-19, visit socoemergency.org or call our information hotline at 211. See you next time.